So I keep seeing videos of people being mad about how Quinn Blackwell and Angel Reese have been announced as Victoria's Secret models, saying that supermodels should have impossible bodies and that they're not classy enough to be Victoria's Secret models.
Just because you have a pretty face does not mean you should be walking the Victoria's Secret runway.
Oh, who is you?
Nothing is enough. So the Victoria's Secret, oh my, it's fine, it's part of the process. The Victoria's Secret fashion show was this past week and it was a lot better than last year, that's for sure.
Victoria's Secret, was it that hard? Was it that hard not to fuck it up? No angels have arrived? No Victoria's Secret fashion show merch? I lived for that shit. I think Bella Hadid is fucking gorgeous. And I think her glam looks great. But where the hell was the classic Victoria's Secret makeup? Where the fuck was the bombshell hair? There was no roller sets. Come on. The show felt so low budget.
They wanted the blowouts back. They said no more slick backs. And they were giving it to us. They had some really cool people walking the runway. There was a lot of talk about who was going to be walking the fashion show, which included, unfortunately, a lot of controversy. Specifically surrounding the inclusion of celebrities, influencers, and pro athletes. The most notable two being the topic of conversation was Quinlan Blackwell and Angel Reese. A huge point of criticism, people saying that they were quote-unquote not classy enough to be Victoria's Secret models.
This is absolutely insane to me how much of an uproar this is causing. Why can't we genuinely just be happy for the two young ladies who are absolutely crushing it? Instead of applauding them and giving them their flowers, I feel like a lot of y'all are just setting limitations on what they can and can't do just because where they started from.
And I thought we would talk about it while I get ready for another Unfiltered Get Ready With Me. Also, heads up, I don't know why the universe was just like, what, pow, to me today and yesterday, honestly this whole weekend, but my dog has been having diarrhea, so I've been having to wake up at like 3 a.m. to take her to go do her business. Give it up for good Bow Bow though, because at least she tells me. Because of that, I've been really stuffy. I was so fine yesterday, but I'm like super sick today. I woke up sneezing. I feel awful, you guys, so if I sound a little congested, you know why. Hi girls, welcome back to Boss Girlified. It is your girl Tima. Now I had to talk about this because this conversation, I just have so much to say about it, because I feel like this is a prime example of the notion that women can't win, especially nowadays. I think it's, well, I wouldn't say nowadays, but it's just that it's in a different font. I went back and watched the 2010 fashion show. It is completely different than the 2025 fashion show. Honestly, everything after 2020. On one hand, it's kind of like the OG Victoria's Secret. People have more of the blowout. The only way that you could really become a Victoria's Secret angel is by being scouted for such. Social media wasn't super big back then, and even if it was, it wasn't what it is today. Nostalgia also plays a huge part in it. We all miss the 2010s, especially if we grew up in the 2000s. On top of that though, that was just a better era when it came to like everything. Music, dance, fashion shows, fashion in general. Genuinely, the 2000s was the golden era for a lot of things, and we lost a little bit of that spark because of how quickly trends tend to cycle. I just saw this video too where it was comparing rooms that were trending from like 2019 onward. And if I can find it again, I'll show you guys, but it was just a huge stark reminder to me of, oh my god, like trends really have in the past few years become so quick. There were of course different eras in interior design, but I feel like they would last a lot longer. And now it's like every year, every few months, even every year is kind of reaching, there's a new aesthetic. So things are just different and they move a lot quicker and a lot different, but there's also a lot of expectation. There's a lot of expectation to fit a certain mold, to constantly give something new and fresh, but still remain very unique and to the brand's point. It's really hard to keep up with the demand of what people want. So let's just run down what's going on real quick with the whole controversy this year. They brought on a few influencers, one of them being Quinlan Blackwell. They brought on some professional athletes like Suni Lee and Angel Reese. Could just be that because I'm a black woman, I come across more content about black women, but I have seen a lot of controversy specifically surrounding the athletes, but specifically Quinlan Blackwell and Angel Reese. In general too, all of the influencers that they brought on especially, they were dragged for filth for bringing them on, basically. A lot of people were like, yo, like chill out, but there were still a good amount of people that were like, why are they here? Now anyone can be in Victoria's Secret. Isn't this supposed to be for unattainable bodies? Like, the comments I was seeing, y'all, was absolutely outrageous. And again, it kind of goes into that thing that I talk about a lot, honestly. I've brought it up quite a few times, of people just running their yap online. How are you gonna sit on behind your screen, more likely than not, even if you do have a profile picture? Probably no videos, probably no pictures, probably not shit, because most of the people that run their yuck the most don't really have anything to show for. They don't really have any credibility. Even if they were to have credibility, you still shouldn't be talking about people's looks.
Especially people that look like this. You are lying to yourself if you are saying that these women are not fit to be Victoria's Secret models.
But on top of that, you don't have any credibility. It's like, can we even take these people seriously for real? But at the end of the day, it's still very telling how many people were comfortable talking about how attainable these bodies were in comparison to what a Victoria's Secret model body type should be.
And I think this kind of goes into a lack of nuance that society at large has been starting to have over the years. And I've talked about this when it comes to trends like the upturned nose being super fixated upon. And now it's the same thing with the Victoria's Secret fashion show runway. Now, historically, of course, they have been very specific with the type of model that they include. They're all very tall, slim, very, very skinny, very underweight, 9 times out of 10. But I appreciate them even more because they're including the fact that, yes, you can still have that bombshell, gorgeous, unattainable beauty standard beauty, but or come in a different shape. These women's bodies, I would argue, are more unattainable than just being super skinny.
People were like, oh, why do we have influencers now? I miss the good old days when this was, you know, supposed to be just models that have trained for years.
Just because you have a pretty face does not mean you should be walking the Victoria's Secret runway. I've been modeling for almost 4 years. I've done New York Fashion Week twice. So I think I'm allowed to say whatever I want about last night's Victoria's Secret show. No one would let a model play in the WNBA championship. No one would let a model go compete for Olympic gold. So my question for you, DM casting, why are we letting Angel Reese and Suni Lee walk the Victoria's Secret runway? What gets even worse is letting influencers walk the runway. I do not care how beautiful you are. If we are calling this the Super Bowl of fashion, because that's practically what it is, you can't just let anyone on the field. No matter how silly it seems, it is so beyond unfair to the girls who have worked their butts off to get to the Victoria's Secret casting, thinking that they could possibly be casted, signed models who have dreamed of becoming a Victoria's Secret angel, and their spots are given to influencers and athletes.
So for me, I say let the girls have fun.
I'm not gonna lie to you guys, when I saw the influencers walking the Victoria's Secret fashion show this year, I was a little bit like, what are we doing? We are losing the plot. And I just thought about the fact that if they invited me, I am certainly not turning down the offer out of commemoration to what the 2012 models look like. Honestly, how many of you wholeheartedly, truthfully can say, if you got the offer, you're gonna say, no, please go book a 5'10" girl who's 115 pounds over me, because that's what the shows used to look like. If you had the chance, you would take it too, because quite honestly, that's been like every girl's little dream since they were like 10.
First of all, it's a fashion show. Like, nothing should ever be that serious, especially a fashion show, especially for a brand like Victoria's Secret. They're known for their fun, sexy, seductive runway shows and campaigns. And that's what they gave. Quinlan Blackwell is sexy. Angel Reese is fun and sexy. Suni Lee is fun and sexy. Like, that's the point. A lot of people have these microaggressions towards Black people, or even just any other group of people, and they don't really notice it when it comes to life. Lately, right, we have been including a lot more people of different body types. It's just very interesting to see society claim that they want a lot more different types of body types. They don't just want one skinny, standard, tall model, right? That is, of course, the standard because that was what was set. People over time have been demanding that brands start being a little bit more inclusive, right? Because again, you can still have an unattainable body, right? And it still be different than just the standard model, supermodel, tall, skinny look.
This whole discourse makes me really uncomfortable because it feels very microaggressive and like thinly veiled racism. First of all, Quinn Blackwell has one of the most unreal bodies ever. I'd actually say that that's way more of an impossible body to achieve than just being skinny to a sickly degree. Angel Reese is literally 6'3" and has an incredibly toned, athletic body. How at all is that not an impossible body to have?
These women aren't unattainable. This is an attainable skill to have. Really? I want to see you do it then. I want to see you get up on that runway and do that. It's one of those things where it's like the industry and the world is changing and evolving. Realistically, we're not going to be able to replicate the same exact thing that we had years ago in 2010. 2010 was like 15, almost 16 years ago now. Okay, it's not going to be the same. I'm sorry, it's just not. And part of the world changing is that a lot of people are now discoverable on the internet, on social media. Whoop-de-doo. And the thing is, with content creation and being on the internet and influencing, even though it has its caveats, even though it has its issues, especially when it comes to overconsumption, it is still a woman-dominated field.
And
Where'd the feminism go? We are seeing people who did not come from great backgrounds be able to be discovered by Victoria's Secret and walk on the runway, which is one of the most viewed things that women watch, and they're able to have that opportunity. And we're complaining about, oh, shouldn't this just be supermodels who've trained their whole life for this? This is a whole nother spiel that I could go down. I could make a whole entire video about this problem too. But a lot of people do hate on influencers and content creators, and I do get it to some extent, especially when it comes to certain content creators who promote, overconsumption and just do the most ridiculous, outrageous, wasteful things and, aren't honest. And like, there's so many elements of content creation that's not great. But there are so many more elements to content creation that is amazing. And a lot of people think that content creation is just this easy thing that anyone can do. Again, it's one of those things where it's like, if anyone can do it, you do it. If anyone can do it, you try it. And I honestly am the type of person that believes that anyone who wants to do something can truly do it, but you have to want to do it. You have to want to put in the hours. You have to want to watch your videos flop. You have to want to learn how to make your videos do well. And you have to maintain that relevancy. So for people, especially like Quenlin Blackwell, I'm just going to call her Quen because I don't know if I'm even saying her name right. But to see people like Quenlin Blackwell, right, who I literally grew up on. If you were on Vine and if you were on even TikTok now, she managed to transfer that over, which is, again, very impressive. You know that she built her brand up from the ground up. Now she's like doing her big one, like she's on YouTube, like all these other stuff, like she's doing her shit, right? We say that we want to see more Black women be successful. We say that we want to see Black women win. We say that we want to see this demographic win, but then when they actually do it, it's a problem.
Black women from normal backgrounds without parents' money and nepotism are doing things that we've never seen them do before, and you guys are complaining. I am awestruck at the things that I have seen people complain about in the past few months on this app, and probably for a long time, in response to Black women succeeding. I just scrolled and seen people complaining about Quenn Blackwell doing the Victoria's Secret show, which she has earned, and that is incredible and inspiring, and I'm really excited to watch that. I've seen people complain about influencers succeeding, and I get it. I get that sometimes people feel jealous. And I also get that there are valid critiques toward influencers about waste and sustainability and overconsumption. Totally valid critiques. But the bottom line here is Black women are reaching heights that we have never reached before. Like, it's 2025. 50 years ago, that was the anniversary of women being even able to buy homes without having their husband's name on the account. Like, a lot of the things that we as women, especially Black women, that we are finally now reaching and enjoying, these are really new things. We have not had these things for centuries, like only decades, maybe. And so, like, I'm not saying that people's critiques or thoughts, everybody's entitled to their own opinion, but I just wish that when people would start to open their mouth and complain, they would complain not about Black women living life, enjoying things, being inspiring, reaching new heights, reaching new milestones, making money, making names for themselves. Like, what is going on right now? It doesn't matter if it's an influencer walking the runway. It doesn't matter if it's a model walking the runway. It doesn't matter if it's an influencer buying a house. It doesn't matter if it's a government worker buying a house. if you are a black woman, these are the types of achievements that in 50 years, like when we all have kids, it's going to show the future black young women, the future black girls, and the future black children, hey, you can pick any lane and you can succeed. What are you guys complaining about all the time? Like, I've just never seen people watch black women win and complain every single day about how they're winning. Dude, what is wrong with you guys?
And a lot of women too, we have to realize that a lot of women, for some reason, like, society has made it to where women are not supposed to get along. Like, we are the harshest to each other. We are each other's worst critics. And it's very frustrating because we already have the patriarchy against us. Like, why are we contributing to the issue? We should be embracing each other. We should be lifting each other up. We should not be trying to knock somebody's hustle just because they're an influencer and they end up on the freaking Victoria's Secret fashion show runway. Like, we should just be happy for them. We should give them their flowers. They still, at the end of the day, worked hard to get there. They worked hard to be seen and noticed by Victoria's Secret, or else they wouldn't be there. A lot of people were saying it's not fair because there's all these other women, these other supermodels who have worked their whole life to be here. Haven't a lot of those people up there worked their whole life to get where they are too? Hasn't Suni Lee worked her whole life to become a pro Olympian gymnast? Hasn't Angel Reese worked her entire life to become a pro athlete basketball player? Hasn't Quinlan Blackwell started Vine and social media from whatever age she was? She was definitely, I think she's around my age. She was probably starting around 12, 13. It probably trying out different stuff before that even. Worked her whole life to become a big staple known girl. That doesn't mean anything. And again, it's one of those things where it's like, it doesn't make sense. It's a logical fallacy because people are trying to discredit people because they feel threatened by them. For some reason, they feel threatened either because, you know, they're successful and they ended up on Victoria's Secret runway. Like, it's so many, who knows what's going on in the minds of some people. But realistically, what is the damage? All of these women are drop dead gorgeous. They did their big one. They walked very well, especially for it being their first show. Especially Quinlan. I was so tea. Let's just run that clip real quick while I put my lip liner on. I see why they're upset. I see why they're mad. And if they're just doing their big one to be successful, I would never find a reason to like bash on them for that. As long as they're not harming anyone and they're doing what they love or what they like. Like, again, it's one of those things where it's meant to put certain women down. That's it. That's the core root of the problem. We claim that we want women to dominate more field, but we are so highly critical when it comes to things that are women dominated.
How do you do that? How do you do that? What the hell is going on?
That's counterintuitive. That's a little counterintuitive. No? Oh. Okay. It's for the betterment of black women. We're putting more representation out there. I think it was a great move, and I really do hope that, you know, Angel Reese, Quinlan Blackwell, Suni Lee, all of the other influencers and celebrities that were asked to walk in the runway show, I really do hope that they're doing okay, because I think a lot of people also fail to realize that these people are human beings. I think a lot of people think that they're not going to see it because a lot of people that leave hate comments think that they're invisible. That's very telling of them, but they think they're invisible. They think that their comment won't be seen because they feel unimportant. And the whole time they're not even putting into consideration, wait, but what if they do see it? And clearly Angel Reese did see it because she did put a response, you know, on her TikTok where she was basically like, so this body is attainable to y'all. I haven't done eyeliner in so long, and I'm like reverting back to the no lashes look because I did a lash lift and then I was trying to put on lash clusters, but because of the lash lift, it just wasn't doing what it needed to do. And by the way, don't get it twisted, I got a lash perm and then a lash lift because my lashes are naturally curly. It's also starting to fall out, but I would definitely recommend that if you have curly lashes. But I think next time I'm going to ask her to just simply do the lash perm. I know my lashes are going to be sticking out, but that's what I want because I feel like it's a lot easier to put on lashes and lash clusters, so on and so forth. But let me know if you guys like the look, no lashes look. I've been like going back and forth between the no lashes look for a few months now, honestly, and I just love it. Honestly, I think it depends on the lash cluster. A lot of lash clusters do suit me very well, but it's very easy to find ones that don't suit me. So it's either a very, very good lash cluster, lash band, or just my natural lashes, honestly. I love doing just the outer corner. Chef's kiss. I honestly really respect Victoria's Secret for bringing on these women because it goes to show that, again, women are a lot more than just looks. I think that's possibly a part of the reason why they brought these women on, to kind of show the range and variety and success and importance that women play in society. They brought on pro athletes to show that, you know, beautiful women are capable of becoming pros in any sport that they want to. They brought on influencers that have built their brand from the ground up in a woman-dominated field. If anything, I still respect them for trying to make a difference in the fashion industry. And again, you guys, we just have to like be a little bit more aware of what it is that we're actually implying and what the impact is that we're having on the world at large based on the energy and the vibrations that come out of our mouths and into the world. Anyways, girlies, thank you so much for watching today's video. Let me know what you guys thought about it, and let me know if you guys like this makeup look. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching today's video. It has been your girl Tima, and I will see you on another video soon. Bye, girls.